Ancient China, a land of emperors and empires. It was a time of dynasties and destinies. Through the mists of time, 4 women emerged, their beauty an irresistible force. They were Shi, Wang Zhaojun, Diao Chan, and Yang Guifei. These women, known as the 4 Great Beauties, transcended time. Their lives, interwoven with political turmoil and cultural shifts, continue to captivate and inspire. Their stories, passed down through generations, offer a glimpse into a world where beauty could topple kingdoms. These women were not merely beautiful faces. They were pawns in a larger game of power. Yet they were also survivors, navigating the treacherous waters of court intrigue. Their lives, though different, were all marked by a strange combination of privilege and peril. Each woman, in her own way, left an indelible mark on Chinese history. Their stories are a testament to the power of beauty, the complexities of ancient Chinese society, and the enduring allure of these legendary figures. Join us as we journey back in time. We will delve into the lives of these extraordinary women. We will uncover the truth behind the legends. Their stories, shrouded in myth and intrigue, offer a window into a bygone era. We will explore their influence, their legacies, and the timeless fascination they continue to hold. In ancient China, beauty was more than just an aesthetic quality. It was a powerful currency, often wielded in the arena of politics. It could be a tool for diplomacy, a weapon of war, and a catalyst for change. The 4 Great Beauties, each renowned for their exceptional beauty, found themselves entangled in the intricate web of power and intrigue that defined their times. Their lives were not their own. They were tragically intertwined with the fate of empires. Shi's beauty, said to be capable of captivating any man, was strategically deployed to bring about the downfall of a rival kingdom. Wang Zhaojun, a symbol of peace and unity, was offered as a bride to secure the borders of the Han dynasty. Diao Chan, a master manipulator, used her charm to incite conflict and topple a tyrannical warlord. Yang Guifei, the beloved concubine of an emperor, became a scapegoat for rebellion, her beauty blamed for the empire's instability. These women, revered for their physical perfection, were often seen as objects to be used for political gain. They were pawns in a high-stakes game, their destinies dictated by the ambitions of men. Yet, within the confines of their circumstances, these women exhibited remarkable agency, navigating the treacherous currents of court life with intelligence and resilience. Their stories challenge us to look beyond the surface of beauty and recognize the complex roles they played in shaping the course of history. The story of Shi begins in the tumultuous spring and autumn period, a time of warring states and shifting alliances. She was said to have been a humble village girl, her beauty so extraordinary that it was said to have captivated even the fish in the river, who forgot to swim and sank in admiration. Her life, however, would take a dramatic turn when she became entangled in the machinations of power. Gujian, the king of Yue, sought revenge against the rival state of Wu, which had humiliated him in battle. Recognizing the potential of Shi's beauty as a weapon, he presented her as a gift to King Fuchai of Wu, knowing her charms would prove irresistible. Fuchai, captivated by Shi's beauty, became consumed by her. He neglected his duties, allowing his kingdom to weaken under his distracted rule. Shi's role in the fall of Wu is shrouded in legend. Some accounts portray her as a willing participant in Gujian's plot, a patriotic figure who sacrificed her freedom for her kingdom. Others depict her as a tragic pawn, manipulated by forces beyond her control. Regardless of her true motivations, Shi's beauty became a potent symbol of seduction and destruction, her name forever linked to the fall of a mighty kingdom. Wang Zhaojun's story unfolds during the Han dynasty, a period marked by both prosperity and conflict. She was a woman of exceptional beauty and grace, chosen to enter Emperor Yuan's imperial harem. However, unlike many who sought power and influence within the palace walls, Wang Zhaojun's path led her far beyond the familiar comforts of the imperial court. At the time, the Han dynasty faced a constant threat from the Xiongnu, a powerful nomadic empire to the north. To secure peace, a political marriage was arranged between Wang Zhaojun and Huanye Chanyu, the leader of the Xiongnu. This act of self-sacrifice, a testament to her loyalty and courage, would forever etch her name in the annals of Chinese history. She willingly embarked on a perilous journey to a foreign land, becoming a symbol of peace and diplomacy. Wang Zhaojun's marriage ushered in an era of peace and cultural exchange between the Han and the Xiongnu. She is remembered not only for her beauty, but also for her intelligence, diplomacy, and compassion. Her story became a powerful symbol of the sacrifices made in the name of peace and the unifying power of cultural exchange. Section 5. Diao Chan, the dance of discord and deception. Diao Chan emerges from the pages of Romance of the Three Kingdoms, a historical novel set during the tumultuous Three Kingdoms period. Her story, while largely fictionalized, reflects the chaos and intrigue that characterized this era. Diao Chan's beauty was said to be so captivating that it could outshine the moon and shame the flowers. Wang Yun, her adopted father and a high-ranking official, sought to eliminate Dongzhuo, a tyrannical warlord who held the Han emperor hostage. Recognizing Diao Chan's extraordinary beauty and sharp wit, Wang Yun devised a cunning plan. He promised her hand in marriage to both Dongzhuo and Lu Bu, Dongzhuo's adopted son and a fierce warrior. Diao Chan, a skilled manipulator of emotions, successfully turned the two men against each other, her beauty fanning the flames of their rivalry. Diao Chan's scheme ultimately led to Dongzhuo's assassination, ending his reign of terror. Her story, though fictional, became a popular motif in Chinese opera and literature, symbolizing the power of beauty and cunning in times of political turmoil. She is often portrayed as a tragic heroine, a woman forced to use her beauty as a weapon to survive and to shape the destiny of a nation. Section 6. Yang Guifei, Love, Power, and the Price of Beauty. Yang Guifei's tale unfolds during the opulent Tang dynasty, a golden age of Chinese civilization. Originally a concubine of low rank, Yang Yuhuan's beauty captivated Emperor Xuanzong, who elevated her to the position of his most beloved consort. Her story, however, is a cautionary tale of love, power, and the capricious nature of fate. She became the emperor's obsession, her every whim indulged, her beauty celebrated in poetry and song. Yang Guifei's influence over the emperor, however, aroused jealousy and resentment within the court. Her extravagant lifestyle and the promotions bestowed upon her family members fueled political unrest. When An Lushan, a powerful general, launched a rebellion that threatened to topple the Tang dynasty, Yang Guifei became a convenient scapegoat. The emperor's soldiers, blaming her for the empire's instability, forced him to order her execution. Yang Guifei's story, immortalized in art and literature, became a poignant reminder of the ephemeral nature of beauty and power. Her tragic fate serves as a warning against the dangers of unchecked indulgence and the fickle nature of courtly life. She remains an enduring figure in Chinese culture, her story a testament to the enduring power of love, loss, and the bittersweet allure of beauty. Section 1. The State of Wu, a Rising Power. During the spring and autumn period, China was a land divided. Numerous states, each vying for dominance, clashed in a constant struggle for power. Among these warring states, the Kingdom of Wu, located in the fertile Yangtze River Delta, emerged as a formidable force. Led by ambitious rulers and renowned for their military prowess, the people of Wu expanded their territory through conquest and strategic alliances, their influence growing with each passing year. At the helm of Wu's rise to power stood King Fuchai, a ruler known for his ambition and military acumen. Under his command, the Wu army achieved a series of decisive victories, conquering neighboring states and solidifying Wu's position as a dominant power in the region. Fuchai's reign marked a golden age for Wu, its coffers overflowing with the spoils of war, its borders expanding ever outward. The heart of Wu, the capital city, bustled with activity. Merchants from distant lands arrived, eager to trade for Wu's coveted silks and finely crafted bronzeware. The streets teemed with artisans, their workshops filled with the sounds of hammers striking metal and looms weaving intricate patterns. Fuchai's court, a center of power and luxury, attracted scholars, poets, and artists, all eager to bask in the king's favor. Yet, beneath the veneer of prosperity and military might, a current of vulnerability ran through the heart of Wu. Fuchai, blinded by his victories, failed to anticipate the simmering resentment of his enemies. Among them, Gujian, the king of the defeated Yue, plotted his revenge, biding his time and waiting for the opportune moment to strike back at the kingdom that had humiliated him. The rivalry between Wu and Yue was generations old, a bitter feud fueled by territorial disputes and the desire for regional dominance. When Fuchai ascended to the throne of Wu, he inherited this legacy of conflict. Eager to prove his mettle and secure his kingdom's supremacy, he launched a series of campaigns against the neighboring state of Yue. The Yue, caught off guard by the ferocity of the Wu assault, found themselves outmatched and overwhelmed. Gujian, the young king of Yue, faced a devastating defeat at the hands of Fuchai's forces. His army shattered, his kingdom on the brink of collapse, Gujian was forced to swallow a bitter pill: unconditional surrender. He and his queen were taken as prisoners to Wu, where they endured 3 years of humiliation, serving as slaves in Fuchai's court. Every day was a reminder of their fallen kingdom, every task a testament to their defeat. The humiliation cut Gujian deep. He witnessed firsthand the opulence of Fuchai's court, the casual cruelty with which his captors treated their defeated enemies. Yet, beneath his outward compliance, a fire burned within him, a potent mix of shame, rage, and an unyielding desire for revenge. He vowed to restore Yue to its former glory and to make Fuchai pay for the suffering he had inflicted upon him and his people. During his years of captivity, Gujian carefully studied his enemy. He observed Fuchai's strengths and weaknesses, noting the king's growing arrogance and his tendency for excess. He recognized that Wu's military might, while formidable, was not invincible. He understood that true victory would require more than just brute force. It would demand cunning, patience, and the willingness to exploit his enemy's vulnerabilities. While Gujian endured his captivity, suffering the indignities and hardships of a prisoner, his trusted advisor, Fan Li, remained in Yue, ever loyal and determined. Tasked with rebuilding the shattered kingdom and preparing for the day of their revenge, Fan Li worked tirelessly. Fan Li searched for a way to weaken Wu from within, knowing that a direct confrontation was not yet possible. He understood that Fuchai, for all his military prowess and strategic acumen, was susceptible to the allure of beauty and the temptations of luxury, which could be his undoing. It was then that Fan Li began to formulate a daring and unconventional plan, one that would require both courage and cunning. This plan would hinge on the exquisite beauty of a young woman named Shi, whose charm was legendary. Shi, a village girl of extraordinary beauty, lived a simple life in the countryside of Yue. Her days were filled with the tranquility of rural life, far removed from the intrigues of the court. Legends abound about her captivating appearance, tales that spread far and wide. Some claimed that her beauty was so radiant that it caused fish to forget how to swim, mesmerized by her reflection in the water. The fish, entranced, would linger near the surface, spellbound by her image. Others whispered that even the birds in the sky would pause in mid-flight, their songs silenced by the sight of her. The birds, captivated, would hover in the air, unable to continue their journey. Regardless of the veracity of these tales, one thing was certain: Xi-Xi's beauty was undeniable, a gift that would both elevate her and seal her fate. Her serene expression belied the storm of events that would soon engulf her life. Fan Li, recognizing the potential of Xi-Xi's beauty as a weapon, saw an opportunity that could not be missed. He brought her to Gujian's attention, presenting her as the key to their plan. He proposed a plan, both audacious and risky, to present Xi-Xi as a gift to King Fuchai. The hope was that Xi-Xi's beauty would captivate the Wu King, ensnaring him in a web of distraction. The hope was that Xi-Xi's beauty would captivate the Wu King, distracting him from his duties and weakening his resolve. Distracted by her presence, Fuchai would neglect his kingly duties, giving Yue a strategic advantage, thus creating an opportunity for Yue to rise again, stronger and more determined than ever. Gao Jian, driven by his desire for revenge and recognizing the potential of Fan Li's plan, agreed to the gambit without hesitation. Xi-Xi, thrust into the center of a dangerous game of power and intrigue, faced an uncertain future filled with peril and promise. Her life, once defined by the simplicity of village life, would be forever altered by the machinations of kings and the weight of her kingdom's fate. She would be forever altered by the machinations of kings and the weight of her kingdom's fate. She would travel to a foreign land, her heart heavy with the knowledge of her role. Her beauty both a weapon and a shield, her destiny intertwined with the ambitions of men and the outcome of a generations-old conflict. Her journey would be fraught with challenges, but her resolve would shape the future of her people. Xi-Xi's beauty, lauded in countless poems, plays, and folktales, has become the stuff of legend. She is often depicted as the epitome of feminine beauty, her features said to have been so perfectly formed that they could launch 1,000 ships. Her skin, it was said, possessed the luminous glow of pearls. Her eyes sparkled like the stars in the night sky, and her every movement exuded an ethereal grace. One of the most enduring legends surrounding Xi-Xi describes her habit of frowning slightly due to a heart ailment. This subtle expression of pain, far from detracting from her beauty, only enhanced it, lending her an air of vulnerability and wistful sadness that captivated all who beheld her. The women of Yue, eager to emulate Xi-Xi's captivating allure, would mimic her frown, hoping to capture even a fraction of her legendary charm. While separating fact from fiction in these ancient tales is a near impossible task, it is clear that Xi-Xi possessed an undeniable allure. Her beauty transcended mere physical perfection. It was a potent combination of grace, intelligence, and a certain captivating vulnerability. She embodied the feminine ideal of her time, her image becoming a symbol of both the power and the fragility of beauty. It is important to note that beauty standards vary widely across cultures and throughout history. What was considered breathtakingly beautiful in ancient China might not hold the same allure today. Xi-Xi's story, therefore, serves as a reminder that beauty is often in the eye of the beholder, and that its power, while undeniable, is often shaped and manipulated by social and cultural forces. The Han Dynasty, a golden age in Chinese history, stretched across 4 centuries, leaving an indelible mark on the cultural and political landscape of the empire. Under the rule of ambitious emperors and skilled administrators, The Han Dynasty expanded its borders, established a centralized bureaucracy, and fostered a flourishing of art, literature, and technological innovation. The Silk Road, a network of trade routes connecting the East and West, thrived during this period, bringing wealth and exotic goods to the empire. However, the Han Dynasty's prosperity and stability were constantly challenged by internal power struggles and external threats. One of the most persistent threats came from the Xiongnu, a powerful nomadic confederation that roamed the vast steppes north of the Han frontier. The Xiongnu, skilled horsemen and fierce warriors, frequently raided Han settlements, disrupting trade and terrorizing border communities. The Han emperors, determined to protect their borders and maintain peace within the empire, employed a variety of strategies to counter the Xiongnu threat. Military campaigns, while sometimes successful in repelling Xiongnu incursions, proved costly and often resulted in further conflict. Diplomatic efforts, including the exchange of envoys and gifts, offered periods of respite but failed to provide a lasting solution. The ongoing conflict with the Xiongnu placed a heavy burden on the Han Dynasty, draining its resources and fueling political instability. The emperors, caught between the need to defend their borders and the desire to maintain internal harmony, faced a complex dilemma. It was in this context of political tension and cultural exchange that Wang Zhaojun, a woman of exceptional beauty and grace, would emerge as a pivotal figure in Han-Xiongnu relations. The Xiongnu, a formidable nomadic confederation, held sway over the vast steppes north of the Han Chinese Empire for centuries. Their origins shrouded in the mists of time, the Xiongnu emerged as a powerful force, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of the grasslands, their survival dependent on their mastery of horsemanship, archery, and warfare. Their nomadic lifestyle, in stark contrast to the settled agricultural society of the Han Chinese, shaped their worldview, their social structures, and their relationship with their powerful southern neighbors. The Xiongnu were a highly mobile people, their lives dictated by the seasonal migrations of their herds. They lived in portable dwellings called yurts, easily assembled and disassembled to facilitate their nomadic lifestyle. Their society, organized along tribal lines, was led by a supreme leader, known as the Chanyu, who held absolute authority in matters of war and peace. The Xiongnu possessed a deep understanding of the harsh environment they inhabited. They were skilled hunters, utilizing their knowledge of animal behavior and their equestrian skills to bring down prey. Their mastery of archery was legendary, their arrows capable of finding their mark with deadly accuracy, even from horseback at full gallop. This military prowess, coupled with their mobility and their ability to strike swiftly and disappear back into the vastness of the steppes, made them a formidable adversary for the Han Chinese armies. The relationship between the Han Dynasty and the Xiongnu was complex and often fraught with tension. Periods of trade and diplomacy, marked by the exchange of silk, horses, and other valuable goods, were punctuated by outbreaks of conflict, raids, and counter-raids. The Han Chinese, viewing the Xiongnu as a threat to their northern borders and a disruptive force to their trade routes, sought to contain their power and secure their frontiers. The Silk Road, a network of ancient trade routes that spanned thousands of miles, connected the Han Dynasty in the east with the Roman Empire in the west. This intricate web of caravan trails, stretching across deserts, mountains, and grasslands, facilitated a vibrant exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures, shaping the destinies of empires and leaving an enduring legacy on the world. Silk, tea, porcelain, and spices flowed westward from China, while horses, glassware, textiles, and precious metals traveled eastward, enriching the coffers of merchants and fueling the growth of cities along the Silk Road. However, The flow of goods and the prosperity that accompanied it were often disrupted by conflict and instability. The Xiongnu, controlling key sections of the northern Silk Road, posed a constant threat to the safety of caravans and the stability of trade. Their raids, motivated by a desire for plunder and a strategic aim to weaken the Han dynasty's economic power, could bring commerce to a standstill, disrupting the flow of goods and impacting the livelihoods of merchants and communities dependent on the Silk Road. The Han emperors, recognizing the strategic importance of the Silk Road and the economic benefits it brought to the empire, sought to protect this vital artery of trade. They dispatched armies to secure key passes, constructed fortifications along vulnerable sections of the route, and engaged in diplomatic efforts to negotiate safe passage for merchants and their goods. However, these measures often proved insufficient to deter the Xiongnu, whose knowledge of the terrain and their ability to strike swiftly and disappear back into the vastness of the steppes made them a persistent threat. The ongoing tensions on the Silk Road highlighted the precarious balance of power between the Han dynasty and the Xiongnu. Each empire, recognizing the importance of trade and the strategic value of controlling these vital routes, sought to outmaneuver the other, leading to a complex interplay of diplomacy, military posturing, and economic competition. A daughter of the Han Wang Zhaojun's early life. Wang Zhaojun, whose name would become synonymous with peace, diplomacy, and the poignant beauty of self-sacrifice, was born into a world teetering on the edge of conflict and change. Her birthplace, the southern region of the Han dynasty, stood in stark contrast to the harsh steppes that lay far to the north, a land she would one day call home. The lush landscapes of her youth were a far cry from the rugged terrain she would later traverse. Details of her early life are shrouded in the mists of time, pieced together from fragments of poetry, historical accounts, and the enduring legends that surround her name. These fragments paint a picture of a life both ordinary and extraordinary. She is said to have been a girl of extraordinary beauty, her features so captivating that they were said to rival the celestial beings depicted in ancient scrolls. Her beauty was not just skin-deep, but seemed to emanate from within. Her skin, it was said, possessed the luminous glow of pearls. Her eyes sparkled with intelligence and a hint of melancholy, and her every movement exuded an ethereal grace. This combination of physical and inner beauty made her stand out in her community. Her beauty, a gift that would both elevate her and seal her fate, became the talk of her village, whispered among the women as they gathered at the well, and recounted by traveling merchants as they passed through her hometown. Her name began to spread far and wide. Beyond her physical attributes, Wang Zhaojun possessed a sharp mind, a thirst for knowledge, and a compassionate heart. She was known for her kindness and willingness to help those in need. She excelled in her studies, mastering the art of calligraphy, reciting poetry with a voice that could move hearts, and playing traditional Chinese instruments with a skill that belied her young age. Her talents were as varied as they were impressive. Her intelligence and grace, coupled with her undeniable beauty, marked her as someone destined for greatness, though the path that lay before her would be far from the life of comfort and privilege she might have expected. Her future held challenges she could not yet foresee. Wang Zhaojun's early life, though shrouded in the romanticized tales that often accompany legendary figures, offers a glimpse into the values and aspirations of her time. Her story reflects the cultural ideals and societal expectations of the Han dynasty. Beauty, intelligence, and artistic talent were highly prized in Han society, particularly for women seeking to elevate their social standing. These attributes were seen as markers of a well-rounded and cultured individual. Yet these qualities, while admired, could also be a double-edged sword, drawing attention and admiration, but also making one vulnerable to the whims of fate and the machinations of those in power. Wang Zhaojun's life would soon be shaped by forces beyond her control, setting her on a path that would change history. Summoned to the palace, a beauty's fate. Word of Wang Zhaojun's beauty spread far and wide, carried on the whispers of the wind and the tales of traveling merchants. It eventually reached the imperial court, where Emperor Yuan, known for his appreciation of beauty and his desire to surround himself with the most captivating women in the land, held court. Intrigued by the tales of Wang Zhaojun's exceptional beauty, the emperor issued a decree, summoning her to the capital city of Chang'an. The journey to the Forbidden City was long and arduous, a testament to the vastness of the Han Empire and the stark contrasts that existed within its borders. Wang Zhaojun, accompanied by a retinue of servants and guards, traveled northward, leaving behind the familiar landscapes of her childhood. She passed through bustling cities, their streets teeming with merchants hawking their wares, and serene countryside, where farmers tended their rice paddies and fishermen cast their nets in tranquil rivers. As she drew closer to Chang'an, the heart of the Han Empire, a sense of both excitement and trepidation filled her heart. She had heard tales of the Forbidden City, its towering walls, its magnificent palaces, and the countless beauties who resided within its walls, vying for the emperor's favor. She knew that her life, once defined by the rhythms of her village and the warmth of her family, was about to change irrevocably. The emperor's summons, while an honor, also carried a weight of expectation and uncertainty. Wang Zhaojun, like countless women before her, was about to enter a world of both privilege and peril, a gilded cage where beauty could be both a blessing and a curse. Her destiny, once intertwined with the fate of her family and her village, would now be shaped by the whims of an emperor and the intricate power dynamics of the imperial court. The Imperial Harem. A gilded cage of intrigue. The Imperial Harem, a world hidden behind high walls and guarded gates, existed in stark contrast to the bustling life of the capital city that surrounded it. While the city thrived with commerce and daily life, the harem remained a secluded and enigmatic realm. It was a place of both opulent beauty and suffocating confinement, where thousands of women, chosen for their beauty, intelligence, and artistic talents, lived out their days, vying for the emperor's favor. These women, adorned in the finest silk robes, spent their time in luxurious gardens and ornate rooms. The women of the harem, ranging from daughters of noble families to commoners who had caught the emperor's eye, were both prisoners and competitors in a system designed to satisfy the emperor's desires and produce heirs to the throne. Each woman, regardless of her background, faced the same fate of being part of this intricate system. Life within the harem was governed by a strict hierarchy and an intricate web of rules and rituals. Every action, from the simplest gesture to the most elaborate ceremony, was dictated by these rules. The women were divided into ranks, their status determined by the emperor's favor and their proximity to power. Higher-ranked women enjoyed more privileges, while those of lower rank had to navigate the complexities of palace life with fewer resources. Competition for the emperor's attention was fierce, fueled by jealousy, ambition, and the desire to escape the monotony of life within the confines of the palace walls. This competition often led to intense rivalries and alliances among the women. Days were filled with a seemingly endless cycle of calligraphy lessons, music practice, and the meticulous application of cosmetics and perfumes, all designed to enhance their beauty and make them more appealing to the emperor. These activities, while seemingly trivial, were crucial in maintaining their status and favor. The women of the harem, despite their luxurious surroundings and the material comforts provided for them, often lived lives of quiet desperation, their fates entirely dependent on the whims of the emperor and the ever-shifting alliances and rivalries that characterized life within the palace walls. The constant tension and uncertainty took a toll on their spirits. Wang Zhaojun, upon her arrival at the Forbidden City, was assigned a rank and given quarters befitting her beauty and the emperor's initial interest. Her new life began with a mix of hope and trepidation. She quickly learned to navigate the complexities of harem life, observing the unspoken rules, the subtle power plays, and the ever-present undercurrent of competition that permeated every interaction. Her keen observation skills became her greatest asset. Yet despite the challenges and restrictions of her new life, Wang Zhaojun refused to be defined solely by her beauty or her position within the harem. She sought to carve out her own identity and find a sense of purpose beyond the gilded cage. Section 7. A Twist of Fate. The Painter's Deception. In the imperial court, appearances were everything. The emperor, surrounded by a sea of faces, relied on a system of portraits to aid him in selecting consorts from among the thousands of women who resided within the harem. This task fell to the court painter, a man whose brushstrokes held the power to elevate or destroy, to capture the essence of beauty or to distort it to serve his own ends. The court painter, a man named Mao Yanshu, was renowned for his skill in capturing the likeness and spirit of his subjects. However, like many who wielded power in the emperor's court, Mao Yanshu was not immune to corruption. He accepted bribes from ambitious concubines, eager to ensure their portraits caught the emperor's eye, exaggerating their beauty, minimizing their flaws, and ensuring their place among the chosen few. When it came time for Wang Zhaojun to have her portrait painted, she refused to bribe the painter, believing that her natural beauty would speak for itself. Mao Yanshu, angered by her refusal to indulge his greed, took his revenge, subtly distorting her portrait. He added a slight blemish beneath her eye, a mark that, while barely noticeable, would be interpreted as a sign of ill luck and misfortune. The emperor, presented with a seemingly endless procession of portraits, relied on these visual representations to make his selections. He never met the women in person until after he had chosen them based on their painted likenesses. Wang Zhaojun's portrait, though still beautiful, was passed over, her true beauty obscured by the painter's petty act of revenge. Section 8. The Emperor's Regret, a Missed Connection. Years passed. Wang Zhaojun, her beauty unacknowledged by the emperor, lived a quiet life within the confines of the harem. She dedicated her time to her studies, perfecting her calligraphy, her musical talents, and expanding her knowledge of literature, history, and philosophy. She befriended other concubines, sharing stories and offering solace in a world where loneliness and competition often overshadowed genuine connection. One fateful day, the emperor, seeking a moment of respite from the burdens of ruling a vast empire, decided to wander through the gardens of the harem. His stroll led him past a secluded pavilion, where the sound of music, played with exquisite skill and a hint of melancholy, caught his attention. He paused, drawn in by the beauty of the melody and the skill of the unseen musician. As he drew closer, he saw Wang Zhaojun, her back to him, her slender fingers dancing across the strings of a pipa, a traditional Chinese lute. She was lost in the music, her face, illuminated by the soft glow of the setting sun, radiating a beauty that far surpassed anything he had seen in the countless portraits that lined the walls of his palace. The emperor was captivated. He had never encountered such beauty, such grace, such depth of emotion conveyed through music. He watched, mesmerized, until Wang Zhaojun, sensing his presence, turned, her eyes widening in surprise. In that instant, the emperor recognized the woman from the portrait, the woman whose beauty he had so carelessly overlooked, his heart sinking as he realized the magnitude of his loss. Section 1. The Three Kingdoms. a time of turmoil and ambition. The Three Kingdoms period, a tumultuous chapter in Chinese history, emerged from the ashes of the once mighty Han dynasty. The empire, weakened by internal corruption, peasant uprisings, and the ambitions of powerful warlords, fractured into rival factions, each vying for control of the fragmented realm. It was a time of shifting alliances, epic battles, and cunning political maneuvering, where loyalty was a fickle mistress, and the quest for power could corrupt even the noblest of hearts. Three kingdoms rose from the chaos Wei, Shu, and Wu, each led by ambitious rulers determined to reunite China under their banner. Cao Cao, a brilliant strategist and ruthless pragmatist, established the Wei kingdom in the north. Liu Bei, claiming descent from the Han imperial clan, sought to restore the dynasty's former glory with his Shu kingdom in the west. Sun Quan, inheriting his brother's domain, consolidated his power in the south, establishing the Wu kingdom. Warfare became a constant presence, with armies clashing across the plains, through mountain passes, and along the banks of mighty rivers. Skilled generals, employing innovative tactics and commanding vast armies, etched their names in legend through their exploits on the battlefield. Yet, amidst the clash of swords and the thunder of war drums, another battle raged. A battle of wits, of intrigue, and of manipulation, where beauty could be a weapon as deadly as any blade. The Three Kingdoms period, immortalized in literature, opera, and popular culture, stands as a testament to the enduring human fascination with ambition, conflict, and the complexities of power. It is a story of heroes and villains, of loyalty and betrayal, of love and loss, where the fate of a nation often hinged on the actions of a few individuals caught in the maelstrom of history. Section 2. The Rise of Dongzhuo. A tyrant's grip on power. As the Han dynasty teetered on the brink of collapse, a figure of immense ambition and ruthlessness emerged from the chaos. Dongzhuo, a powerful warlord from the northwest. Commanding a formidable army, known for their ferocity and discipline, Dongzhuo marched on the imperial capital. Luoyang, his arrival heralding a reign of terror that would leave an indelible scar on the empire. Dongzhuo, driven by a lust for power and a disdain for those he deemed his inferiors, seized control of the young emperor, reducing him to a mere puppet ruler. He appointed himself prime minister, a position that granted him absolute authority over the court and the remnants of the Han government. Those who dared to oppose him were swiftly silenced, their execution serving as a grim warning to any who contemplated challenging his authority. The imperial capital, once a center of culture, learning, and refined elegance, descended into chaos and depravity under Dongzhuo's iron grip. He plundered the imperial treasury, squandering the empire's wealth on lavish banquets, opulent palaces, and a seemingly insatiable appetite for pleasure. His soldiers, loyal only to him, roamed the streets with impunity, terrorizing the populace, looting homes, and assaulting anyone who crossed their path. Dongzhuo's tyranny ignited a firestorm of resentment among the people and fueled the ambitions of rival warlords, who viewed his seizure of power as an opportunity to advance their own agendas. However, fear kept many from openly challenging his rule. It would take a cunning mind, a daring plan, and the allure of a legendary beauty to orchestrate Dongzhuo's downfall and alter the course of history. Section 3. The Beauty of Diao Chan, a weapon forged in despair. Diao Chan's origins are shrouded in mystery, her story woven from the threads of history, legend, and literary embellishment. Some accounts depict her as a singer in the imperial palace, her voice said to possess the power to soothe the savage beast and to stir the hearts of men. Others portray her as the adopted daughter of Wang Yun, a high-ranking minister in Dongzhuo's court, who recognized her extraordinary beauty and sharp wit as potential weapons against the tyrant's rule. Regardless of the specifics of her background, Diao Chan's beauty was legendary, said to be so captivating that it could shame the moon and put the flowers to shame. Her skin was said to possess the luminous glow of pearls. Her eyes sparkled with intelligence and a hint of melancholy, and her every movement exuded an ethereal grace. Yet, behind her captivating exterior lay a mind as sharp as a double-edged sword, honed by the harsh realities of a world teetering on the brink of chaos. Diao Chan's beauty, while a gift, also became a burden, a source of both admiration and exploitation. She witnessed firsthand the depths of Dong Zhuo's cruelty, the suffering he inflicted upon the people, and the fear that gripped the imperial court. She understood that her beauty, in the hands of the wrong man, could be used to manipulate, to control, and to destroy. However, Diao Chan refused to be a mere pawn in the games of powerful men. She possessed a strong sense of justice, a deep compassion for the suffering of her people, and an unwavering determination to use her beauty and her cunning to right the wrongs that plagued her world. When Wang Yun approached her with a dangerous plan, one that would require her to use her allure as a weapon against Dong Zhuo, Diao Chan did not hesitate. Section 4. Wang Yun's Plot, a dangerous game of deception. Wang Yun, a man of unwavering loyalty to the Han dynasty, watched with growing despair as Dong Zhuo tightened his grip on power, his tyranny pushing the empire closer to the brink of collapse. He knew that direct confrontation with Dong Zhuo's formidable army would be futile. The cunning warlord, surrounded by loyal followers and protected by a vast network of spies, was a formidable adversary. Wang Yun recognized that to defeat Dong Zhuo, he needed to exploit the tyrant's weaknesses: his insatiable lust for power, his paranoia, and his susceptibility to the allure of beauty. He devised a daring and dangerous plan, one that would require meticulous planning, unwavering trust, and the willingness to use beauty as a weapon of manipulation. At the heart of his plan stood Diao Chan, her beauty and intelligence the key to ensnaring Dong Zhuo and turning his own ambition against him. Wang Yun's plan was a delicate dance of deceit, a carefully orchestrated performance designed to exploit the desires and jealousies of two powerful men, Dong Zhuo and his adopted son, Lu Bu. Lu Bu, a renowned warrior known for his unmatched skill in battle and his unwavering loyalty to Dong Zhuo, was also a man of fierce passions and prone to impulsive actions. Wang Yun first revealed his plan to Diao Chan, promising her a place of honor in the restored Han dynasty if she agreed to participate. He knew that asking her to use her beauty as a weapon carried immense risk, both to her reputation and her safety. However, he also recognized her intelligence, her compassion, and her deep-seated desire to see Dong Zhuo's reign of terror brought to an end. The Tang dynasty, spanning 3 centuries, stands as a beacon of cultural and economic prosperity in Chinese history. It was an era of unprecedented openness to the outside world, marked by vibrant trade along the Silk Road, the flourishing of art, literature, and philosophy, and a cosmopolitan atmosphere that drew scholars, merchants, and artists from across Asia and beyond to the Tang capital, Chang'an. Under the rule of emperors like Taizong and Xuanzong, the Tang dynasty reached the zenith of its power and influence. Military campaigns extended the empire's borders, encompassing vast territories and diverse cultures. A centralized bureaucracy, staffed by scholar officials chosen through a rigorous examination system, ensured efficient governance and a relatively stable social order. The Tang dynasty was a period of artistic innovation and cultural brilliance. Poetry, in particular, flourished, with renowned poets like Li Bai and Du Fu capturing the essence of the era in their verses, their words echoing through the centuries. Painting, calligraphy, music, and dance also reached new heights of sophistication, reflecting the wealth, refinement, and cosmopolitan spirit of the age. However, beneath the veneer of splendor and prosperity lay an undercurrent of excess and indulgence. The Tang court, known for its lavish banquets, extravagant costumes, and a thirst for exotic pleasures, set a tone of extravagance that permeated society. It was in this atmosphere of opulence and intrigue, where beauty was both celebrated and exploited, that Yang Guifei, a woman whose name would become synonymous with both love and tragedy, would rise to prominence. Yang Guifei, whose given name was Yang Guifei, but would forever be remembered by her honorific title Yang Guifei, entered the world far removed from the gilded cages of the imperial palace. She was born into a merchant family in Sichuan province, a region known for its lush landscapes, its spicy cuisine, and the independent spirit of its people. Though not of noble birth, her family enjoyed a comfortable lifestyle, their fortune built on trade and the entrepreneurial spirit that characterized the Tang dynasty. From a young age, Yang Guifei possessed a captivating beauty that set her apart. Her skin, it was said, possessed the delicate blush of peach blossoms. Her eyes sparkled with intelligence and a mischievous glint, and her laughter, like the tinkling of wind chimes, could charm even the most stoic heart. She moved with an innate grace, her every gesture imbued with a natural elegance that belied her humble origins. Beyond her physical attributes, Yang Guifei possessed a sharp mind, a quick wit, and a natural talent for music and dance. She excelled in her studies, mastering the art of calligraphy, reciting poetry with a voice that could move hearts, and playing traditional Chinese instruments with a skill that surpassed even the most accomplished court musicians. Her intelligence and artistic talents, coupled with her undeniable beauty, marked her as someone destined for greatness, though the path that lay before her would be fraught with both joy and sorrow. Yang Guifei's early life, though often romanticized in the legends that surround her name, offers a glimpse into the lives of women in Tang Dynasty China. While Confucian ideals emphasized the importance of female subservience and domesticity, the Tang Dynasty afforded women greater freedoms and opportunities than previous eras. Women from wealthy families like Yang Guifei could receive an education, pursue artistic interests, and in some cases, even wield considerable influence behind the scenes. As Yang Guifei blossomed into womanhood, her beauty and her accomplishments became the talk of Sichuan province, her name whispered in hushed tones in tea houses and market squares. Her fame eventually reached the ears of Li Mao, Prince Shou, the 18th son of Emperor Xuanzong, a ruler known for his appreciation of beauty and his penchant for surrounding himself with talented individuals. Prince Shou, captivated by the tales of Yang Guifei's beauty and accomplishments, arranged to meet her, his curiosity piqued by the rumors that had traveled from the distant province. A grand banquet was held in her honor, a spectacle of culinary delights, exquisite music, and graceful dancers, all designed to impress the young woman who had captured the prince's imagination. Yang Guifei, accustomed to the finer things in life thanks to her family's wealth, was nonetheless dazzled by the prince's attentions. She had heard tales of the imperial court, its grandeur and its intrigues, but experiencing it firsthand as the guest of honor of a prince was an entirely different matter. Prince Shou, smitten by Yang Guifei's beauty, her intelligence, and her artistic talents, sought to make her his concubine, a position that would grant her a life of luxury and privilege within his princely estate. Yang Guifei, though flattered by the prince's affections, found herself torn between her feelings for the handsome prince and the uncertainties of a life tied to the whims of the imperial court. Fate, however, had other plans for Yang Guifei. Emperor Xuanzong, Prince Shou's father and the ruler of the Tang dynasty, had recently been plunged into mourning following the death of his beloved consort, Wu. The emperor, heartbroken and inconsolable, withdrew from courtly affairs, neglecting his duties and seeking solace in poetry, music, and the fleeting beauty of the imperial gardens. Prince Shou, concerned for his father's well-being and recognizing the need to lift the emperor from his despondency, devised a plan. He suggested that his father visit his estate, where he could enjoy a change of scenery, the tranquility of nature, and perhaps find solace in the company of his son's talented concubines. It was during this visit that Emperor Xuanzong first laid eyes on Yang Guifei, her beauty a beacon of light in the emperor's grief-stricken world. The emperor, accustomed to being surrounded by the most beautiful women in the empire, was nonetheless captivated by Yang Guifei. Her beauty, her grace, her musical talents, and her infectious laughter reawakened something within him, a spark of joy he had thought extinguished. He showered her with gifts, composed poetry in her honor, and sought her company at every opportunity. The emperor's infatuation with Yang Guifei, while a testament to her captivating presence, also set in motion a chain of events that would have far-reaching consequences. The lines between love, power, and duty blurred as the emperor's obsession grew, his actions driven by a potent mix of passion and the unyielding belief that his desires, as emperor, were his to fulfill, regardless of the cost. The emperor's infatuation with Yang Guifei sent shockwaves through the imperial court. Consorts, jealous of the attention lavished upon the newcomer, whispered behind fans and plotted her downfall. Ministers, concerned about the emperor's neglect of state affairs and the growing influence of a woman who had not been born into the rarefied world of court politics, voiced their disapproval, their words often falling on deaf ears. Emperor Xuanzong, however, remained undeterred. He elevated Yang Guifei to the rank of Guifei, the highest possible title for an imperial consort, second only to the empress, a position that remained unfilled. He bestowed upon her lavish gifts, including a magnificent palace within the Forbidden City, staffed with hundreds of servants dedicated to fulfilling her every whim. Yang Guifei's influence grew with each passing day. The emperor sought her counsel on matters of state, her opinions valued above those of his most trusted advisors. He granted her family members positions of power and influence, their fortunes rising in tandem with her own. The court, quick to adapt to the emperor's desires, showered her with praise and flattery, eager to curry favor with the woman who held the emperor's heart captive. Yang Guifei, despite her meteoric rise to power, never forgot her humble beginnings. She used her influence to promote artists, musicians, and poets, her court becoming a center of cultural and artistic innovation. She interceded on behalf of those she believed had been wrongly accused, her compassion often tempering the emperor's harsher instincts. Yet her position remained precarious, her fate inextricably linked to the whims of an emperor whose obsession, while a testament to her power, also sowed the seeds of discontent that would eventually threaten to tear the empire apart. With Yang Guifei by his side, Emperor Xuanzong's reign entered a period of unparalleled extravagance and artistic flourishing. The imperial court, once known for its Confucian restraint and emphasis on ritual, transformed into a whirlwind of lavish banquets, elaborate costumes, and performances designed to delight the senses and indulge the emperor's every whim. Yang Guifei, a patron of the arts, surrounded herself with the most talented musicians, dancers, poets, and painters of the age. Her beauty, celebrated in countless poems and songs, became the inspiration for a new wave of artistic expression. Her image gracing silk scrolls, porcelain vases, and the walls of palaces and temples alike. The stories of Shi, Wang Zhaojun, Diao Chan, and Yang Guifei offer a glimpse into a world where beauty held the power to shape destinies, topple kingdoms, and alter the course of history. These women, each renowned for their captivating beauty, found themselves thrust onto the stage of history, their lives intertwined with the ambitions of emperors, the machinations of court officials, and the fate of empires. Their stories, passed down through generations, serve as a reminder that beauty, while often celebrated for its aesthetic appeal, can also be a potent force, capable of both great good and great destruction. Xi's beauty, said to have captivated even the fish in the river, was deployed as a weapon of war, her allure instrumental in bringing about the downfall of the mighty Wu kingdom. Wang Zhaojun, a symbol of peace and cultural exchange, used her beauty to forge an alliance between the Han dynasty and the Xiongnu, her sacrifice ensuring decades of harmony along the Silk Road. Diao Chan, a master manipulator, navigated the treacherous world of the Three Kingdoms, her beauty a tool to outwit tyrants and shape the destiny of a nation. Yang Guifei, the beloved consort of an emperor, became both a muse and a scapegoat, her beauty blamed for both the artistic flourishing and the eventual decline of the Tang dynasty. The lives of the four beauties challenge us to look beyond the surface of beauty, to recognize its complexities and the ways in which it has been both celebrated and exploited throughout history. Their stories remind us that beauty is often in the eye of the beholder, shaped by cultural norms, personal preferences, and the ever-shifting sands of time. Yet despite its subjective nature, beauty's power to captivate, to inspire, and to influence remains undeniable, a force that continues to shape our world in countless ways. Section 2. Beyond Allure: Intelligence, Courage, and Sacrifice. While the four beauties are celebrated for their captivating appearances, their stories reveal a depth and complexity that transcends mere physical perfection. These women, thrust into extraordinary circumstances, exhibited remarkable intelligence, courage, and a willingness to sacrifice their own happiness for the greater good. They were not merely beautiful faces. They were individuals of substance, capable of navigating the treacherous currents of court life, influencing powerful men, and leaving their mark on history. Wang Zhaojun, facing the daunting prospect of a life among the Xiongnu, chose to embrace her destiny, using her position to foster peace and understanding between two cultures on the brink of war. Her courage and diplomacy paved the way for decades of stability and cultural exchange along the Silk Road, her name becoming synonymous with the power of peaceful coexistence. Diao Chan, caught in a web of political intrigue, risked her life to bring down a tyrant, her cunning and manipulation skills proving as effective as any army. Her story, though often romanticized, highlights the courage it takes to challenge those in power and to fight for justice, even when the odds seem insurmountable. Even Yang Guifei, often portrayed as a tragic figure, wielded her influence to promote the arts and to advocate for those who had fallen out of favor with the emperor. While her story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and the fickle nature of fate, it also reveals a woman who used her position to uplift others and to leave a lasting legacy on Tang dynasty culture. Section 3. Whispers Through Time: The Enduring Power of Storytelling. The stories of the four beauties have captivated the Chinese imagination for centuries, passed down through generations in the form of poems, plays, operas, folk tales, and more recently, films and television dramas. Their enduring appeal lies not only in their captivating beauty, but also in the universal themes they explore: love, loss, betrayal, sacrifice, ambition, and the complexities of power. These stories, while rooted in specific historical periods, transcend time and place, resonating with audiences across cultures and generations. They offer insights into the human condition, the challenges of navigating a world often defined by power struggles, social expectations, and the fickle nature of fate. The four beauties have become archetypes, their stories told and retold, each generation adding its own interpretations, embellishments, and moral lessons. They serve as cautionary tales, reminding us of the dangers of unchecked ambition, the fleeting nature of beauty, and the importance of courage, compassion, and integrity in a world where power can easily corrupt. The enduring power of these stories lies in their ability to transport us to another time and place, to introduce us to characters who, despite their legendary status, grapple with many of the same challenges we face today. They remind us that the human experience, for all its complexities and contradictions, transcends time and culture, connecting us across generations through the shared language of storytelling. Section 4. Beauty's Double-Edged Sword, a Legacy of Triumph and Tragedy. The lives of the four beauties stand as a potent reminder that beauty, while often celebrated as a gift, can also be a double-edged sword. Their stories, filled with both triumph and tragedy, highlight the complex and often contradictory ways in which beauty has been perceived and utilized throughout history, particularly for women navigating the patriarchal structures of ancient China. On the one hand, beauty could elevate a woman's social standing, opening doors to privilege and influence. Wang Zhaojun's beauty, while initially overlooked, ultimately led her to a position of power and respect as the wife of the Xiongnu Chanyu. Yang Guifei's beauty captivated an emperor, elevating her from humble beginnings to the pinnacle of power and influence within the Tang court. On the other hand, beauty could also be a source of vulnerability, making a woman a target of jealousy, manipulation, and exploitation. Shi Shi's beauty, while instrumental in bringing down a kingdom, also led to her objectification and manipulation by the men who sought to use her for their own political gain. Diao Chan's beauty made her a pawn in a dangerous game of intrigue, her life constantly in peril as she navigated the treacherous currents of court politics. Yang Guifei's beauty, while initially a source of joy and inspiration, ultimately became a liability. Her downfall blamed on her captivating presence and the emperor's inability to resist her charms. Her story serves as a cautionary tale about the ephemeral nature of beauty and the dangers of allowing it to define one's worth. Section 5. The Seeds of Inspiration, Art, Literature, and the Four Beauties. The stories of the four beauties have not only endured through centuries of retelling, but have also served as a wellspring of inspiration for countless works of art, literature, and performance. Their beauty, their tragedies, and their triumphs have been immortalized in poems, plays, operas, paintings, sculptures, and more recently, films and television dramas, their images and stories woven into the very fabric of Chinese culture. Poets throughout the ages have penned verses celebrating their beauty, lamenting their fates, and pondering the fleeting nature of youth and the capriciousness of fate. Painters have captured their likenesses on silk scrolls and palace walls, their features idealized and imbued with an ethereal grace that transcends time. Playwrights and opera singers have brought their stories to life on stage, their voices echoing the joys, sorrows, and moral dilemmas that have captivated audiences for generations. The four beauties have become muses, their stories inspiring countless artists to explore themes of beauty, love, loyalty, betrayal, and the complexities of power. Their images, instantly recognizable and imbued with symbolic meaning, have become shorthand for feminine beauty, grace, and the enduring power of storytelling. The continued relevance of the four beauties in Chinese art and literature speaks to their enduring hold on the collective imagination. Their stories, far from being relegated to the dusty annals of history, continue to resonate with contemporary audiences, their themes of love, loss, ambition, and the search for meaning as relevant today as they were centuries ago.